Okay. Today I want to talk about how to take care of a nose ring injury, such as when you snatch it on something and it comes out halfway, or if you develop a keloid. Now, what happened with me was I was washing my face, and as I was washing my face, you tend to forget that the nose ring is there, and I took a towel and I wiped it, and then I just like dropped it, and you just roughly just go like this and then go like that, and one of the fibers of the towel snatched onto my nose ring, and it pulled it out. Now I have a nose screw in, so this is what it looks like. That's in my nose right now. If you could see it, it's like got this little twirly thing that hooks into your nose. So this is a very secure nose ring. So when this goes in, like let's just say this is your nose right here, you kind of hook it in first, and then you get it through the other side. Then once you get it in, and then you kind of turn it and push it down. So when it's in your nose and it gets snatched out, it'll snatch out like this, and it'll come down, but it won't come out. So it's stuck in your nose and it yanks it really, really hard. That's what happened to me, and it was really painful. So I just pushed it back in, and I thought everything was okay. Now, when I woke up the next morning, my nose was hurting me, so then I realized something was wrong. And I looked in the mirror, and of course, there was this huge bump, and it was full of pus, and it was swollen, and it was absolutely gross. Now, it, I took a Q-tip, and I started going like this. I started like pushing it and pushing it, trying to get the pus out. Then I realized that this was a monster of a bump, and I didn't know what a keloid was before that. So I decided to take my nose ring out to try to fully get a grasp on it and push all the pus out properly so I can clean it and put it back in. That was mistake number one. You absolutely do not take out a piercing if you have any type of injury, if it's swollen, if anything. Do not take it out, because believe me, you will not get it back in. It might go in nice and dandy when it's like this, but when it's swollen, you're not going to get it in, because you have a lot more flesh to go through. And if you cannot get this little hook part right here through the next side of your nose, and you try to twist it inside your nose, it's just really painful. What you have to do is I'll show you. There are many different types of nose rings that you can wear. Here, I will show you. For example, this is what you call a nose stud. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got this little ball at the end, and this one's kind of short. So everyone's different. So everyone, depending on your nose, it can be long or short. Sometimes some people need a longer one. And this is what they call an L. This is what I had in. Now, when I took out my nose screw, which was technically it's this one that I have in right now, but this is similar. So when I took this out, I couldn't get it back in because it was so swollen. I hooked it in, but I couldn't get it through the other side to twist it and push it down. So I was finally able to get this one in, an L. And it's nice, this little stud is blue, it's nice and pretty, but I thought I was fine, I could get through and it'll heal and it'll look okay. And then I woke up the next morning and it was gone. And no, it did not fall out. What happened was, you see how short the stud is from the bending point? That's the part that goes through your actual nose. This is the part that keeps it in your nose. So what happened was that with the keloid being next to my nose, um, and me getting rid of it, which I'm going to tell you in a minute how to get rid of it, there was a big hole basically. So the nose hole got bigger. And this little stud right here basically sunk into my nose. When you have a nose ring that sinks into your nose, immediately take it out. You have to find something that's bigger and wider. Something kind of like this. You see where it's like a little star kind of shape, if you could see it. It's star shaped, so it's a little bit wider, or something even bigger, which is like this heart kind of thing. And I don't know if you could see it. And this will prevent it from sinking into your nose. Like, you know, you see the difference. Now what happened was when I woke up, it was covered in like scabs and like it was just gross. So it was completely in, like, it was in the middle of my nose. So what I did was I took a really hot shower and focused the water on my nose area so that it could soften it up, so I could kind of like peel it off, and then push my nose ring back up and then take it and pull it out. Now that was really bad. Like, whenever you have a nose ring that's sinking into your nose, you have to get it out and you have to put a bigger one in, because if it sinks in like it did with mine, if you don't get it out in time, it could completely grow skin over and it can heal, and at that point you're going to have it surgically removed, because you're not going to be able to get through that skin, and that's pretty painful. Now with my nose ring, this little ball thing I have in my nose, I'm going to show you. It's kind of red and irritated right now because it's sinking into my nose. And this is how you can tell that your nose ring is sinking in. And, you know, it's going to be a little gross, but just bear with me. You're going to stick your finger in and you're going to push it up, right? And then once you let it go and it sinks back in, that's when you know that you have to get a wider one, because it's never going to heal properly if it's sinking in, because the hole is going to be a lot bigger than it needs to be. Now, with that being said, I got something dramatically bigger, so I'll make sure that it's not going to sink in this time. See? Look at the difference from this huge thing to this little thing. This thing looks all pretty and you want to keep it in, but if you want it to heal properly, you need to have this, because this is going to sink into your nose. You're going to wake up one morning in a lot of pain because your nose ring is actually in your nose, not on your nose. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to take it out and I'm going to show you how to clean it. Now, the first step that you have to do when you have an injury or a keloid, and a keloid is different. It's like kind of fleshy. It's not something you can like a pimple where you can just pop and it'll go away. It's very fleshy. It's very swollen, and like it was disgusting. Like, you see how big this thing is? Imagine my little nose ring with this big like bump right here next to it. It was absolutely gross. It was like almost consuming it. So what we're gonna do is the first step you have to do is you have to take a shower. You have to take a nice warm shower, as hot as you can take it, and try to focus most of the water on your facial area. You want to try to open up your pores, soften this up, and try to make the swelling go down a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to work with. And you have to make sure your hands are clean. You don't want to reinfect your nose or infect your nose if it's not infected. The second step is you want to take a mug and you want to fill it up with some water. You want to put it in the microwave for about a minute. Do not put boiling water because you don't want to burn yourself. And you have to take sea salt. You cannot use regular salt. I don't exactly know why, but I just know that the sea salt works and everybody recommends it. What this does is it helps kill the bacteria and it helps dry it out and help it heal faster. So you're going to have to take some of the salt in your very, very warm water and you're going to have to pour it in generously. Okay? Oop. So you're going to take I usually just take a Q-tip, you know, and then I stir it. Just to make sure it's all dissolved. Okay. Now, this is going to be the gross part, okay? So, if you're a little bit squeamish or you don't like blood or fluids or anything like that, you know, you're not going to like this, but I'm just showing you the reality of what you have to go through if you do snag your ring and you know you're gonna tear it a little. It's gonna be bleeding, it's gonna be raw, it's gonna be disgusting, but you have to deal with it in a proper way or it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get infected and you know you're gonna be upset because you're gonna have this really ugly mark on your face. So what you need to do is you need to first you have to take out this ring. Now you have to be very careful. So you're gonna take your finger and you're going to stick it in there just to push it up a bit, right? You're going to push it up just a little bit. You're going to push it up a little, and you're going to grab the top of it very gently, and you're going to pull down. Hold on. Ouch. Okay, so this is how a screw comes out. You have to pull. It comes down first. Okay. And then you have to take it, and then you have to twist. So it comes out, okay? So there you go. So as you can see, I'm going to give you a little close view. It's going to be really gross, but it's red. It's like irritated. It's bleeding. It's kind of bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our very, very warm water, and this is gonna hurt, okay? This is gonna be very uncomfortable because not that you're burning your skin off, but this is raw skin you're dealing with, and it's this very, very salty water. So it's gonna be uncomfortable, okay? It's not gonna kill you, it's just gonna be uncomfortable. And you're gonna hold it right there. And you're gonna make sure that that you can keep all of it on the actual spot. So sometimes you're gonna get a little bit of dripping, so just be aware of that. You're gonna just keep dabbing it. So this will help your wound. Basically, this is a wound heal. Now, this is what I did with when I had my keloid, and it was like really big and really ugly. So I just kept doing a lot of hot compresses to loosen up all the fluid in the bump, and you're gonna get underneath too to loosen up all the fluid in there so that I can let it go down. It took a lot of time. It took like a couple days, but it finally went down, and well, I'm happy about that because I don't exactly want this huge bump on my face. Okay. Okay. So there you go. So this is how it's gonna look. You see the hole. You could kind of see the remnants of the keloid. It's a little bit around it, or it's a little bit swollen, and it's gonna be irritated every time you mess with your nose. It's going to hurt. You just have to be gentle, and I'm gonna place this one in now. This was in some alcohol. Have a little cup here with alcohol to make sure that everything is clean. And when you're replacing your nose ring, you have to be gentle. You cannot just go in there and shove it in and expect everything to be okay, because most likely you're going to end up stabbing yourself and you're going to cry, because it's really sensitive in here. It's really bad. But I'm going to try to show you this way. Okay. So you're going to take your nose ring. You're going to gently place it in the hole. Okay. You could flare your nose a little to help you. Okay. Now look how big and ugly that is, right? Absolutely obnoxious, ugly. You wouldn't be caught dead with it, but you know what? Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, because the last thing you want to do is wake up and your nose ring is halfway inside your nose. So you take the back, and I'm just using just a normal regular earring back, and you're going to take, you can see you can see it, and you're just going to you're going oh, okay, there we go. Ow. You want to be gentle. Okay, so you see, look, there's a lot of room. You don't want it to be tight, see? You don't want it to be tight, because you need to be able to go like this, like scrunch your nose and make sure it's nice and loose. You know, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you have to make sure that it's loose, because it's going to swell and it's going to need room. And the last thing you want to do is have it tight, because if this gets tight, you don't want the hole to be even bigger. So, I mean, you could use whatever you like, but I do not suggest that you use any of the nose rings I showed you, because you could see that you need the distance of the stem. I will show you one more time. Okay, so this is what I put in right here, and this is a typical screw. See? Now, if you can see the difference, this has a lot more room than that. And also, when your nose is really swollen and you're trying to get these in, especially if you're newly pierced, it's going to be really hard to try to put this in and maneuver it. You're going to end up like going like this and then trying to twist it before you get through, because your nose is swollen, and you're going to end up stabbing yourself and then crying because it really hurts. Also, the L is a little easier, but it's also tricky. But as you can see with the L, like the distance between the two, it's a lot more with this one. And the stud is probably the best in this situation, except it's very short, as you can see. What you want to do is you would just want to make sure there's enough room so that it can heal properly, and this is not too small. A hoop is also a very good alternative, but I kind of lost mine, so I can't show you, but it's, you know what they look like. It's basically a circle. But you just have to make sure that you take care of your nose properly, because it's a very beautiful piercing, but it's very, very delicate. Like, sometimes you forget that it's in your face, and then your face gets wet, and then you just go like this, and then you have a tendency to take your hands and just wipe the water off your face. And that's when you like snag it and then like kind of rip it out your nose, and then you're gonna be like, oh, my nose, and then you're like, ouch, it's bleeding. And then it's gonna be swollen, and then you have to wait another 2 months, because it's literally 6 months to heal completely. I've had mine for almost 2 months, and it was doing fine before I snagged it, and now I'm just back to square one. It's like all swollen again. It's sensitive, like it's very sensitive. It's a beautiful piercing, but you just have to take care of it properly. Um, if you need any additional help, I can help you out. You can just comment below, and I will be glad to help you. Bye.